Hey everyone, it's Tammy from SketchUp for interiordesigners.com, and today I'm talking about how to create a tile texture in SketchUp. Sometimes we can't find what we need within the SketchUp library or the 3D warehouse or even a third-party texture library. So we need to create it ourselves, and this is how I would go about doing it in SketchUp. We're going to start with a really simple texture, just like a half offset stacked here. And so first up, I have drawn one tile. It's a 3x12 tile, and it's just a loose rectangle here. So a rectangle 3x12. Now I'm going to start a pattern, and what I'm going to do is first give myself room for grout. So I'm going to grab my tape measure tool and measure over, and I'm going to measure over 1/2 inch. So we'll go 1/2 inch here, and then also on this side we'll go up from the top side 1/2 inch for the sake of simplicity. So you only need to do it on one side and one top or bottom because we're going to use that to start the pattern up and over. So first up, let's do the pattern up. So go ahead and select your rectangle and then M for move. And I'm going to tap my Option key because I'm on a Mac. If you're on a Windows machine, you can use your Control key to create a copy in place. And I'm just going to move straight up here to that 1/2 inch mark to leave room for grout. All right, so I'm going to click and release to set that. And now I can type 2x enter for a total of 2 copies. Now I'm going to start running the pattern to the right. So I can select this guy, this bottom guy again, double click, M for move, and I'm going to tap my Option key to create a copy of it. And I'm going to set it down on a 1/2 offset. So here, my blue dot, and I'm just going to hover over that to create a point of inference. I have to really zoom in here, make sure that I'm on that blue dot, and then straight over from there, and there I am. So that's 1/2 offset. However, we have to figure room for this 1/2 inch grout line here. So I'm actually just going to move it up. So I'm going to select it again, move it up the green axis, and type 1/4 of an inch to do the difference there. So I need to make sure that it's on the center of my grout line and not the center, it would be hitting down here if I didn't do that. So center, it's right in the middle of that grout line. Perfect. So now I can grab myself another 1/2 inch, mark there, and I'm just building out my pattern. So again, select it, tap my Option key, and I can type 2x, but this may be enough for me here. So I'm going to clear out those guidelines and take a look. And I think I'll give myself a guideline over here on the right again, another 1/2 inch. I may be taking the long route with all of these guidelines, but I really like to visualize how things are going to be when I'm drawing them with my guidelines before I commit to geometry. It's just kind of the way my brain works. You may have a few shortcuts, but this is the way I'm going about it. So now I need to figure out where the repeat is and chop off my pattern here. So I'm going to go ahead and just grab it from the middle of my tile here and find the middle of the tile here so I can know that it's going to repeat evenly. So middle to middle and then straight over. So I may have to zoom in here to make sure I don't jump off of that inference there. So I'm drawing a rectangle here to try and create a repeat. I know this may look confusing, but if your brain can kind of wrap around the repeat, so this is going to be grout. So when it tiles itself, it's going to land right here. So that's what I want. Same thing over here. We've got a 1/4 inch grout and a 1/4 inch grout top and bottom, the grout in the middle, and then this tile will repeat this tile. So this is all I need. I'm going to go ahead and grab the rest of this and erase it. Same thing here. And selecting right to left to grab that stuff. And now we've created a nice little tidy repeat. So I'm going to grab my paint bucket tool here and we're going to paint it just a gray. So maybe our grout is gray and our tiles are white. Now I need to be able to select all of this, right click and choose Combine Textures. However, I don't have that option here because I don't actually have textures on here. I just have color. I need to make one of these colors into a texture. So I'm going to select that gray that I just applied, right click, and choose Make Unique Texture. and you'll see the difference here in a moment. I'm not going to give it a width and a height. I'm just going to click Create Texture. And now when I select all of that again, my context click gives me more options. So Combine Textures is now an option. I can choose, do you want to erase interior edges? I choose yes. And now it's just one face instead of just all of those rectangles. Now I can sample that and apply it in Repeat. Or you can also find it in your colors and model. So you can see here and here, that is going to be the Repeat texture applied to a face. And we can apply it, of course, infinitely. And it's tiling really nicely. So to review, I just drew the size of one tile, gave it room for grout, and made it into the pattern that I would like to expand. I added a color or a texture, and I made sure that that color read as a texture and not just a color, so that when I select all of it, I could right-click and choose Combine Textures to create a new texture here. Hope that was helpful. Let me know if you know any shortcuts or other tips or any aha moments in the comments below. Thanks.